thank you so much for joining me for this full-length Pilates Reformer class on rotation and side bending. Last month's Reformer class was on flexion and extension, so this month we're focusing on rotation and side bend. To begin, let's go ahead and set up our machine. I'm doing my footwork a little different today. I have on 2 heavy springs as opposed to my normal footwork springs. This is significantly lighter than what I usually use on footwork springs. Usually I use 3 heavies, 1 medium on my machine that is 3 greens and 1 red. Now I'm just using 2 heavies, 2 greens. I have my headrest up. I have my handles, but right underneath I have my foot strap in case you're not using a double loop strap. We are going to go straight from one into the other, not changing our body position. And then also I have a box and a sticky mat. So let's go ahead and begin with footwork. Since we are working on rotation, a lot of times when we do rotation, when we're rotating from the ribs, we have a tendency to pop the back hip. The reason that we're working with lighter springs today is that we really want to work on grounding the back of both sides of the hips, really staying heavy through the sacrum, evenly weighted, not rocking forward towards the tailbone or rocking from side to side. We want to stay equally weighted, really pulling in our stabilizing muscles in the backs of our body from our shoulders to our hips. And we're going to go ahead and warm up those muscles first so they're ready to take over when we start on the rotations and side bends. I'm going to go ahead and come down the line. The first thing I'm going to do is locate my flat heavy sacrum, really weight in through that, but still lift in my low back and sink or melt my back ribs all the way into the mat. Draw my front ribs together and really flatten and widen my shoulder blades. I want to focus on this to begin because we're going to be doing some planking work later, and we want to make sure, or long stretch work, we really want to make sure we have nice flat shoulder blades. So to encourage a nice flat shoulder blade to begin, I'm going to bring my arms up to a V position. They're going to be coming out of my sternum or 12th rib, so it's not up to my shoulders, popping my shoulders into my ears. I'm drawing down on my lats and pulling my shoulder blades wide and apart. I'm going to inhale to press the machine out in a Pilates V from my heels. I'm still making sure that I'm properly grounded, and as I exhale, I resist the springs back in. Let's go ahead and speed that up a little bit. I'm going to inhale and exhale. As I inhale, I'm going to pull up on the muscles on tops of my kneecaps to straighten my legs fully and come back in. And now I'm going to pull out and really open up my hip flexors, but don't tuck your pelvis to do it. Just stretch your legs long and in. And inhale and exhale. Inhale. Here's 6. Wrap your ribs. Weight your sacrum. Flatten your shoulder blades. Nice long neck. And our final one is right here. And 10. And now without moving from the frog position, I'm going to flip my feet up. Place my balls of my feet on. Now from here, I'm going to raise my heels about 1 inch. This is where my heels are going to stand. I'm not going to let them drop and lift on every movement. I'm going to keep my heel raised in this awkward foot position so that I'm working different muscles than I normally would. I'm still in the V. Reestablish your neutral spine. Drop your low abs. Press out. And in. Still working the same muscles. Still getting the same squeeze. On this series, let's go ahead and focus on rotating our thigh bone or our femur in our hip socket and really wrapping the glutes around to support the press out. We're starting from the glutes and press. Here's 9. And here's 10. Now, we're going to float our feet up, separate them, flex our feet, float our feet down without rocking in the sacrum, float our feet down. So we really have to hollow out our lower abdominals, so pull in on our ribs, wrap everything together, arms still in the V. Now we're going to bring them to hug a tree in the round circle position. And we're going to inhale out and exhale in. Inhale and exhale. We're still moving a little bit more quickly. At the top of these, pull up on the muscles. Feel the wrap on the thigh from the inside of your kneecap to the outside of your thigh and come back in. Pull down on your shoulder blades, not hug a tree. Don't allow your ribs to flare though. These springs are lighter. It makes it a little bit more difficult on the body. just using your legs here. From here, we're going to whoop, slide up to right behind, we're going to place right behind the big toe and the second toe on the ball of the foot on the machine. We're still rotating the femur in the hip socket. So we're getting some rotation right there too. Rotation doesn't just happen from the upper body. And inhale out, pull up on those muscles, wrap that thigh muscle, and in. Feel the spiral of that outer thigh muscle, and in. I went ahead and changed my breath. Whoops, you are welcome to as well, as long as you keep breathing and have a regular breath pattern. I'm exhaling out, inhaling in. Dropping my lower abdominals, weighting my sacrum, wrapping my ribs. One more. Pull up, 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 and then come in. Now place your arms flat down by your side, but see if you can maintain that really wide, flat shoulder blade feeling that you had without flaring in your ribs. Float your feet up, squeeze them together, flex your feet, place your heels on. You can place your heel right underneath your arch, right where you're arching your ball of your foot, not the ball of your foot, the heel of your foot. Connect if you feel more stable there. Otherwise, we're going to begin. Inhale out, press up, pull up on the muscles, drop your lower abdominals, wrap the glutes around, and in. This is a parallel movement, but you can still wrap your glutes. And inhale, and exhale. Really focusing in from your hips to your shoulder blades. That's what we're working right now. We're working our legs, of course, we're warming up, but we're really working on the stabilization. Here's 9, flat shoulder blades, not rounding your shoulders in, and 10. Pull up to the ball of your foot in the high heel position again. Try to place weight on all of your toes as we press out. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit less weight on like your baby toe, but we don't want to round in to our big toe, folding in, pronating our feet. Keep breathing. Wrap and wrap. Drop in the lower abdominals. Resist on the way back in. Good. Here's 9. On 10, stay out at the top. I'm going to drop my left heel under while my right knee comes across the foot bar. We don't have much of a calf stretch on this. We're just going to trot at first. We're going to come up to high heel, both legs in high heel, drop my right heel. While we're doing this, we are focusing on the back of our sacrum, We're keeping it completely flat and grounded. So whatever speed you need to go, wrap in on your core for this. It will really help you. Squeeze up with your glutes. Squeeze your legs together. Platform your arms, press into your triceps. Good, almost there. One more on the right side, drop the heel. Now rise up, drop your left heel under. My trainer Katie did this in the last class I did for my Pilates teacher. She put her heel over the top and pulled in. So she really got a nice stretch in her calf. So place your foot down, flex your foot, and use your right foot to help pull your foot further under. Foot bar. Okay, go ahead and come up, back up. High heel. Put your right foot under. Raise your left foot up. Flex your foot. Use your heel to pull that right foot underneath for a nice stretch. Come back up to high heel with both feet. And now, staying right here, we're going to drop both heels under with control, keeping heavy through our sacrum. Bend your knees to resist the springs back into the carriage. Roll up to the ball of your foot in a high heel or forced arch position and press out to the straight legs. Drop your heels. Bend your knees, resist, wrap the glutes. Up into high heel and press out, and now drop and bend. I'm still keeping a very heavy sacrum. And bend. We're water wheeling our legs. And now we're going to stay up on a high heel. Bend our knees over the foot bar in high heel. And now we're going to drop our heels under and press out as we press up to a straight leg with our heels dropped under the foot bar. Raise up into high heel. Bend your knees in a high heel to come back into the foot bar. Press your heels under the flex foot and then press out, driving your heels further into the foot bar and lift. And bend your knees. Press your heels under. Press out to straight legs and rise up. And bend your knees. Flex, under, press. Whoop. Let's do one more. And press. Squeeze your glutes, wrap your legs. Maintain a heavy sacrum and lift. And now just come back in. From here, we're going to go ahead and press up. We're going to release to one heavy spring. One green on my machine. We're going to go ahead and do some one-legged work. Still working on maintaining a stable sacrum for the work that's to come. I'm going to come back down onto my back. I'm going to be in a parallel foot position, squeezing my legs together. From here, I'm going to extend my left leg to hover over the foot bar. I have a gentle bend in my foot. I'm not forced into a high heel. I'm not flexing my foot. I have a gentle ankle. I've extended my foot with a pointed foot over the foot bar. I'm going to press out and press up to a high heel, extending my foot up to the ceiling. I'm going to bend my feet, or flex my feet, point them, bend my foot into my chest, into tabletop, and as I bend my knee, I'm going to bring my foot over top. My left foot comes over top of the foot bar. Now we're going to switch it up a little bit. This is still one movement. I press out, I kick it up, I flex, I point, I bring my foot in, but I drop my toe lower, because as I extend my foot, I'm bringing it under the foot bar by keeping my sacrum completely stable. It really requires a lot of strength or control with my obliques on my left side where my leg is extending. Bring my leg in, extend it up, flex, point, bend to tabletop, and extend my foot over the foot bar. Pull it back, and extend, and flex, and point. Drop my toe lower towards my knee, and extend my foot under the foot bar, keeping equal weight on both backs of my hips. And press, extend, and flex, and point, and bend, and extend over the foot bar. Now bend your knee to tabletop, and extend. Flex both feet, point both feet. Drop your foot, your toes down to your knee, and then extend your foot under the foot bar. I use a lot of glute strength on my right leg as well that's bending. I press it in, and up, and flex, and point, and bend. I'm going to extend. We're going to do it one more time. And up, and bend, and extend, and press it back, and extend this up, and flex, and point, and just float your leg over the foot bar. Draw it in. Now, with a soft ankle, every time we go in to the machine, we have a soft ankle. I'm sorry, I really lost track of that cue on that last one after I first said it. From here, we're going to press up and lift our leg up. Ooh, that feels nice, right? Flex it and point it. Now bend your knee in and extend your foot over. See how my ankle softens as I come in? And as I press out, I go back into a high heel. I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to flex, I'm going to extend. I'm going to drop my toe to my knee as I slide my foot under the foot bar. Stable hips, stable sacrum, up and extend and flex and point. Tabletop, extend my foot over the foot bar. And back to tabletop and extend and flex and point. Now I'm going to point my toe all the way down to my knee in a parallel passe position or parallel bent knee position. Go under the foot bar, pull it back, bring it to tabletop and flex. Point. Tabletop, so we're going over and pull back. One of the ways that you advance your Pilates practice is through choreography or more complicated moves on the machine. Let's do one more. And over. And now squeeze your glute to come back. Are we making sure that we stay weighted through the back of our hips and our sacrum, and we're equally weighted on both sides? Good. And up. And lower it all the way down. Good. Go ahead and draw your knees into your chest real fast. We are on one green spring, so we're going to slide away from the shoulder block slightly. We are going to stay here for 400. So if you would like to change, please go ahead and do so. I'm going to come to tabletop with my legs. I'm going to raise my fingers up towards the ceiling. I'm going to inhale to prepare, exhale to curl up, extend my legs to working level, pull my legs back with my lower abdominals, heavy sacrum, and come back down. And I'm going to press up to curl up, press out to working level. I've rotated out to Pilates feet. I'm still maintaining that heavy sacrum. I pull it back, and I come down. And now I'm going to inhale, exhale to curl up, extend my legs at the same time. Bring everything back down. Exhale, press out to working level. Still a heavy sacrum, go ahead and check on it. And down. This next time, let's get ready for some fun. Inhale, exhale, curl up. Reach long towards the foot bar, begin pumping. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like on the footwork, we're wrapping the muscle from the inside of our knee to the outside of our thigh. We're squeezing our glutes and wrapping them around. We're dropping our lower abdominals in. Wrapping our ribs. We're creased up over our sternum. We're not crunching our chin to our chest. Imagine that there's an apple or an orange or an egg under your chin. You want to crunch it. You don't want to lose it. You got to keep it safe. Inhale. Roll your shoulders up, back and down. Still nice wide shoulders here. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw your knees into your chest. Raise your fingers up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Good job, guys. Go ahead and replace your handles. Come to the side. Come up to sitting. Go ahead and take your foot bar. Down one if you're able to. Or set up your machine for what you use for stomach massage. I'm going to grab my sticky mat so I don't slide all the way to the back. I'm going to make sure that I already have a hand's width from the end of my machine. So my thumb is touching my sticky mat so that I have the proper spacing to begin. I am going to put on 1 light, 1 medium, and 2 heavies. On my machine, that's 1 blue, 1 red, 2 greens. We come onto my machine, straddle it, set it up so that I'm at least a hand's width back from the edge of my machine. Place my feet into a Pilates V position with the same relaxed ankle position to begin that I had on the single leg footwork. So when I press out, I'm not like already way back here. I'm going to be able to really sit up nice and tall on my sit bones. Got to hold on to the foot bar. Pull yourself in. Give yourself a little bit of a tiny little hip stretch. I'm going to take my fingertips, place them on the outside corners of the reformer. I don't want to bend my wrist. I want to keep a straight wrist to elbow as I press into the corners. Really rounding forward, not crunching my chin to my chest, maintaining a nice C-shaped curve from the tip of my head and my tailbone. I'm going to press out on 1 to a high heel. I'm going to lower my heels on 2, press back out on 3, and in on 4. And press 1, lower heels 2, up 3, and 4. If you were worried you weren't going to get a calf stretch, here it is. And 3. Really draw your ribs towards your hips. Nice wide shoulder blades here too, guys. You don't want to round in. You want to pull it wide and open. And 1 more. And in. Scoot it forward if you need to, I know I do. Raise your hands to the front. Circle them to a T. Reach them behind you. Reach for your shoulder blocks. If this is too intense a stretch for the front of your shoulders, you're going to reach down to either side onto your machine. But don't allow yourself to sink. You really want to lift up, opening up through the chest. First, chest expansion or chest extension, back extension exercise. Wrap your ribs, drop your belly, press out on 1. Drop on 2. Lift on 3, across on 4. And 1. Can you draw your belly back to your spine further? Really pull your shoulders back. If there's a mirror nearby, go ahead and check your shoulders in the mirror. Make sure one's not higher than the other one. Try to even those out. Good job, guys. We have 2 more on press. And lower your heels. bumper. And press on 1, lower 2, lift 3, and inhale 4. Good. Bring your arms back around to the front. Hold on to your foot bar. Reach down. Drop 1 heavy spring. So now we have on 1 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light. On my machine, that's 1 green, 1 red, 1 blue. I'm going to reach up, reaching my biceps for my ears. I'm going to try to flat back hinge. Don't round forward, really widen your shoulder blades. Press out on 1, pull across on 2. Soften your ankle when you come across. Press out high heel, and 2. As you reach across, try to reach forward even further. Hamstring stretch, biceps by your ears. You're looking down at your springs, not down at your springs. You're looking more towards, probably towards the end of your machine. Draw your belly button to your spine so your stomach's not sitting on your thighs. And guys, here is our first, come up to sitting, hold on to your ankles very quickly. This is our first rotation of the day. Just like we were talking about keeping our sacrum equal, we want to sit equally on both sits bones. Don't allow one to rotate or rock up. Reaching our arms forward, palms facing each other, drop your shoulders slightly. Bring your fingertips down so they're coming out of your sternum. As you press out, open your left arm to a T. Ribs come across. Don't allow your arm to come behind you. You're not actually rotating more. You're just moving your arm behind your body, which could be bad for your shoulders. Rotate to the right and in. Feel yourself grow taller. Wrap your ribs, drop the belly, drop the shoulders, and rotate to the right and across and to the left. Pull up on top of those kneecaps. Wrap your glutes, wrap your thigh muscles. Let's do 1 more to each side. Pretty sure this is 1 extra. It feels really nice. And 1 more. And now for a challenge, we're going to go ahead and hold on to our machine and drop our final heavy spring. So all I have on now is 1 medium, 1 light. On my machine, that's 1 red, 1 blue. Leaving my feet in a Pilates V position, I'm going to bring my hands back around to the original position, rounding in for a C-shaped curve, looking down, a continuous curve, very uniform from the tip of my head out through my tailbone. I'm going to float my left foot off, just allow it to hang out under there. I'm going to press out with my right foot, drop my heel under on 2, lift it on 3, resist it on 4, and press, and lower, lift. We're just going to do 5 here on each side. All right, this is 3. Pull in on your lower abdominals to lift your foot. Try to sit up right on your sit bones. Now without moving, lift your foot up. And then lower your other foot. Okay, ready? Woo! Let's do this and press out on 1. Squeeze your glute, pull up in your kneecaps, drop your heel, and lift, and bend, and press. Lower your heel, and lift, and bend. 3. Almost there, guys. Don't allow your hips to rock when you do this. So when you press out, don't press out so far that your working leg causes your other hip to stay stable while that hip moves, or your sits bones move. Place your foot back on. Hold on in between your feet. Separate your feet to your arch of your foot. And now press out. Drop your ears by your biceps if you're able to. Really stretch to feel a nice stretch in your back. A nice stretch down the back of your legs. Good job, guys. We're almost done. Bend in, slowly articulating that. Head's the last thing to come up. We're going to come off to the side. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my foot bar back up. In my usual position, let's call it. My footwork position. I'm also going to leave it on 1 red, 1 blue, 1 medium, 1 light. I'm going to set up my box for a long box. I'm going to place my sticky mat on. I'm going to come onto my box for swan. So I place 1 hand on, the other hand on, and now I swing my leg up and around. Place the button, and I swing my other leg up to meet it. sternum and 12-foot knee are sitting on the front of the box. I squeeze my legs together to my inner thigh, wrapping my glutes, draw my belly up to my spine, and wrap my wrists. Very familiar position by this point. I'm going to press out on 1. I'm going to pull up, dropping my shoulder blades, drawing my belly in on 2. As far as I can go without raising my shoulders up to my ears. Press out on 3. Come across on 4. Guys, if your ribs are connecting, the tips of your ribs are connecting and acting like a kickstand all the way down, wrap them tightly, draw them in, they're flaring on you. This is our final swan, and press out, and come across. We're going to get off in reverse order how we got on. So 1 foot, the other foot, and off. 1 hand, other hand. Please try not to fall over. We are going to take our medium spring off and leave 1 light spring. We are doing side arms. So if you don't have the option of taking 1 light spring, there are some exercises that you should not do, or that could be harmful to your shoulders, the delicate components of your shoulder. We are going to come to sitting. I'm going to press my heels into the carriage, not into the side of the frame. So I'm going to lift my feet slightly so that my toes don't drag. My heels are directly under my sits bones. I have perfect number 11 with my thighs. I'm going to keep it. I don't want it to come in or out, or I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to reach up. I'm going to pick up my handle. Quick thought on this. The further you are away from your shoulder blocks, the heavier your springs will be. So the closer you are to your foot bar, the heavier your springs will be. The closer you are to your headrest, the lighter your springs will be. So you don't need to change your spring necessarily right away to change your spring tension. You can change your body position instead. So bringing my hand to my hip, I'm going to draw my arm in. So my biceps hugging my ribs. My arms are in a blade with my shoulder, my palms facing my face. I'm going to reach it up and pull it back down. Don't let your shoulders lift up or down. Just leave your arm bent as opposed to moving your shoulders. Try to stay straight up and down. Belly in, shoulders directly over your hips. 6. We're going to go to 8. So we have 1 more. For fun, we're going to toss in a nice side bend. Place your hand out to the side. Angle your fingertips up to the corner of your box. We are going to lift up, and as our arm comes up overhead, we're going to reach our bicep up to our ear. We're not going to sink in like this. We're pressing into the box, lifting up out of the side, creating space in our opposite side. And as our arm comes down, we come back up to sitting tall. So we start to lift our arm, and then we side bend, pressing into our hand. Don't twist your body when you're doing this. Go straight to the side as if there's a pane of glass in front of you, a pane of glass behind you, and it won't allow you to go front or back. Good job, guys. And here's 6. After this, we have 2 more. Really press in and drop your shoulder up, back, and down so it's nice and flat. Your shoulder on the working arm should be nice and flat as well. 1 more. And now, I'm going to take my handle in my opposite hand, squeeze my bicep into my ribs, place my hand onto my hip, and I'm going to open. And then I'm going to shut. Think of your arm like a door. Rotating and shutting. You won't come all the way in either direction. It moves in like a V position. So I come at an angle across my body, and I open in an angle away from my body. Good job, guys. Don't be down on yourself because you feel like you're not going as far as you should be. Honor your body where it is today. From here, we're going to close the door, reach our arm across our body. Now, rotate slightly so that you're looking down at your hand holding the handle. Your shoulder will come as light. Don't allow it to round in though. Allow it to rotate across. Now come out, bringing your arm up, and then open your arm. Now bend your arm and come across. Look down at your hand. It'll be a slight rotation. Your back hip shouldn't pop off. And open. Bend your elbow first before you come in. Control the movement. And then open. Bend and across. If this is too heavy for you, like I said, move in. And now you're going to come in and open. Allow your eyes to follow your hand. And here's 6. Try not to break your wrist. When you're pulling it open, try not to go like this to open it. Try to keep a straight wrist. Oh, so it's getting heavy, right? It's just a blue spring. What's going on? Open up and bend and close. Now, with your back hand, for me, that's my left hand. It's my hand closest to my headrest. I'm going to take the handle. I'm going to hook it in with my thumb. I'm just going to place my right hand on the front. I'm going to rotate to look at the, I'm not allowing my hands to come back here. My hands are coming straight to the center of my body. Only as far as I can rotate. I'm going to exhale, bring it across. Inhale back. Both hip bones are completely grounded. This movement is strictly a rotation move. You're trying not to allow your body weight to initiate the movement. So you're trying not to do this one and then pulling it across. Keep staying straight up and down. Let's do one more. Good job, guys. Let your eyes follow your hands. Good. From there, we are going to come down onto our sides. I'm going to place my arm against my shoulder blocks. I'm pressing my hand into the front shoulder block. I'm pressing my elbow into the back shoulder block. That's to make sure that I don't twist when I'm doing these movements. Now I'm going to rock forward slightly on my thigh meat. Using the same muscles that I would for a side bend, I'm going to lift up out of my side. For me personally, I'm putting my underarm up against the box. From there, I'm going to squeeze my inner thighs, float my legs up a little higher than I would normally, engaging my legs. I'm going to reach my arms up. I'm going to engage my lats and pull my shoulders away from my ears. And I'm going to reach down, side bending up towards my leg, and coming back down to the T. Not releasing the engagement of underneath my arm. And down. And exhale. Inhale up. I'm finding that my back elbow grows light, but it stays in contact with the shoulder block. So I'm making sure that I'm not twisting forward to make the movement happen. This is strictly a side bend move. Now staying here, I'm going to pulse. And 1, 2. Reach my fingers towards my toes. Drop your abs to your stomach. Good. And we're going to come back down. All the way to the bumper. From there, I'm going to draw my bottom leg in to rest on the box. I'm going to change out my straps. I'm going to find the same position again with my underarm underneath the, my underarm against the box. When my bottom leg's bent, I have my body lined up at the back of the box to make sure I'm not tucking or tilting. I'm going to pull with my arm. It's just a blue spring, so this should be okay to do. To place my foot into the strap. I want to point my foot. I'm going to rock forward slightly on my thigh to make sure I'm not getting into my low back. I'm going to float my foot forward, keeping it the same height in line with my hip. I'm going to flex my foot and pull it back. When the strap hits my body, I'm going to stop pulling. Float it forward and flex to pull it back. Make sure that you're still lifting up out of your side, using those side bend muscles to really engage. And lift up, just like you would for side lying legs on the mat. Here's 7. We're just going to 8 with this as well. And here is 8. Come back to center with your leg coming out of your hip socket. Turn it out and point your foot. Now, don't sink. Don't sink. I'm coming up. If you sink, it'll go like this. You can get up higher, but that's not what we're going for. And then we're going to flex and we're going to lower. You should really feel the rotation of your leg in the hip socket as well. So another rotation. I like to exhale to pull it down. Don't forget about the leg
that's not, that you're stabilizing leg, go ahead and squeeze the glutes on that leg as well. So that it's really getting some nice activity too. If this is hurting your neck, please don't do these exercises. Now turn your foot back to parallel and point it. We're going to do 10 small circles the size of a softball in each direction. And here's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The circle is coming from where your glute and your thigh meet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice long neck, nice wrapped ribs. Go ahead and bring your foot in. Before we sit up, let's go ahead and change back to our handle. Now from here, I'm going to press myself up to sitting. I'm going to go ahead and come through the center. If you're comfortable, place your feet on the foot bar. My heels are on the football, wherever's coming from. I'm going to tuck my tail. I'm going to roll back. From there, you can do an adjustment. I'm going to rest my head in my hands. I'm going to bring my feet up to tabletop. Curl up, looking in at my knees. From there, I'm going to rotate wide elbows. Don't crunch your elbows in. I'm going to rotate my right underarm to my left knee. I'm going to toe dip my right foot, and I'm going to pull it back up to center as I come through center. When we do this, and we toe dip, make sure that you can equally feel your sacrum weighted on both sides. Don't allow your sacrum to tilt forward. Pull in on it. Stop when you feel it starting to tuck. And exhale through center. And inhale. And exhale. Nice rotation, guys. Nice wide elbows. Don't crunch in. And other side. Now for our final 3 sets, we're going to extend our legs if you would like. So extend that leg and pull back. If you feel the one side of your back hip bone starting to grow light, please feel free to go back to the toe dips. We're still moving slow. Fingers interlaced, thumbs nice and long down your neck. And one more. And back through center. Go ahead and hold on behind your knees. Rock up. Carefully find the foot bar. Don't rock up and come right over the end of your foot bar. I feel really bad about that if that's happening. We need to move with control, guys, not just move to get out of positions. Control is one of the great Pilates principles. We're going to rotate to the other side to do the other side, arms and legs. So, I'm sitting in the middle of the box. Again, to make your glute spring lighter, you move back towards your headrest. If you'd like to make it heavier, you move towards the foot bar. I'm going to sit in the middle. My knees are separated, so my heels are directly under my sits bones. I have a perfect number 11 with my thighs. I'm going to try to maintain it the entire time. Place my left hand on my hip. Bring my right arm into my biceps, squeezing my ribs. Wrap my ribs, draw my belly up and in. Nice long neck, nice wide shoulder blades. Palm is open, facing my face. I'm going to lift it up and lower it. Please notice that I'm not lifting up so I can straighten my arm to do this. My arm is still bent. I'm maintaining the control that I need to fully actualize the movement in my own body. Belly up and in. Equal weight on both my sits bones. And now I'm going to place my hand down in the box. My fingers are pointed out towards the corner. I'm going to begin to lift, and then I'm going to bend as my arm starts to straighten. Here I'm going to straighten my arm. I'm going to press up and in, so I'm not crunching into my side. You'll know because you'll start to lose control. When you're reaching up, reaching for the wall and the ceiling beam, you have more control of your ropes and the springs. And reach, nice side bend, shoulders over hips. Really enjoy the bend, guys. I really don't feel like we get enough side bend. Squeeze your bicep to your ribs the whole time. As you come down, bicep squeeze. We have 3 more. After this, we're going to open and shut the door, and then do sheath the sword. Bicep by your ear, and up. Take your left hand, take the strap, squeeze your bicep in, reach
reaching your arm across your body, hand on your hip. Open the door and shut it again. Nice wide flat shoulder blades. Take a look in your mirror. If you have a mirror nearby, make sure your shoulders are even. Squeeze your bicep. Squeezing your elbow towards your waist. We have 2 more. If you only have red springs, please don't do these exercises with the shoulders. Reach it across. Now, we're following our eyes with our hand. It'll cause our shoulders to rotate slightly. Don't allow your body to slump across. I have equal weight across both my sits bones. My eyes follow my hand. I come to a bent elbow, and I extend it straight. I bend my elbow again before I come across my body, following my hand with my eyes. And I bend, and I straighten, looking up at my hand. And I bend, and across. Belly up and in. As you're doing this, maintain control. Don't bend your body in to move this exercise, just like we talked about on the twisting hug a tree exercise that we did on the other side. Bend and across. Don't single your wrist or bend your wrist. Pull it up. Keep a straight line from your wrist to your elbow. And down and across. Now, I'm going to take my right hand, place it in the handle, hook it with my thumb. Just place my left hand over the top, keeping my handle in between my body. I'm going to exhale, come across. As I rotate, I only rotate so far, and my handle stays in line the entire time. You can rotate more, but this is a true rotation. We're seeing how much we can twist without having our arms do the work. Inhale it back and exhale across. Inhale. Dropping your shoulders down. My handle is coming out where my 12th rib, my sternum meet. And down. Now, I'm going to come down to the side bending exercises. So I'm going to lie down with my forearms pressing into the machine, into the box, and the shoulder blocks. Whichever side, pressing out further. My elbow and my wrist are both pressing in. I reach up. I also make sure that my body is equally lined up with the back of the machine. Don't be so close to the back of your box that you fall off when you're doing the exercises, right? Draw my belly up and in. Squeeze in on my legs to lift them slightly. Draw my abdominals, wrap my ribs, and I'm going to pull down on my lats to pull my shoulders away from my ears. And I'm going to reach down and side bend slightly. We're not looking for a full side bend, guys. We're looking for just a little. And back down. And reach. As you come up, your side will obviously connect more than it will be when you're all the way lying down. When I'm lying down, I have a slight lift in my side. And when I side bend, I'm more imprinted on my side. Here's 7. Keeping in connection on both your elbow and your hand so that you're not twisting. And on 8, we're going to stay there and we're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4. This is an oblique pulse. I'm going to come all the way down, allowing the bumper to touch, the carriage touch the bumper. Carefully, with control, we're going to switch out our handles for our foot straps. I'm maintaining the same body position. I'm going to bend my bottom knee in. I'm going to pull the strap to my foot and extend my foot long. I'm going to bend in, placing my elbow on my headrest, place my head in my hand. I'm going to point my foot out. I'm going to rock forward slightly on my thigh. I'm going to point my foot forward, and I'll flex the foot back. Don't forget about your leg on the bottom. Go ahead and try to wrap that glute as much as you can as you work the top leg. And keep breathing, guys. Don't tuck your chest as you do this. Here's 7. And here is 8. And flex to pull it back. And now point your foot and turn it out. Rock forward slightly so that you're not getting a low back or sciatica.
Bring it up. Make sure you're not sinking when you do this. Stay up. Lift up out of your side with the side bend muscles. Flex the lower and point. And flex. And here's 3. Make sure you don't rock back. I just did it so easy to do. And here's 7. Squeezing in on your glutes. And 8. Oof. Point your foot, turn it parallel, working from where the thigh and the glute meet. 10 small circles, the size of a softball in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and bend your knee in. Take the foot strap off before we do anything else. Let's go ahead and change back out to our handle. We're going to press ourselves up to sitting. We are going to face the back of the machine. It is one glute spring. So, I would like for your ankles to be directly under your knees. I don't want anything like this going on. So you can scoot up as far as you can and make that happen. You can scoot up and place your foot on the wood. You're welcome to do that too if you need that. Otherwise, I'm going to scoot to the back of my box, place my ankles under my knees. These are all modifications to this exercise in case they are the springs are too heavy. I'm going to drop my ribs, draw up and in on my abs, place my shoulders over my hips, roll my shoulders up, back, and down so I'm not rounding in. I'm going to pull my shoulders back, squeezing my shoulder blades but not flaring my ribs. Working from this 90-degree position, I'm going to bicep curl and release. 2. Is this too easy for you? Great. If you can maintain stability on your sit pose, go ahead and drop your feet to the side. Really draw your belly up and in, and then work. Wrapping your ribs. Good. We're going to change our arm position to a V bicep curl. Stay here if you'd like. Otherwise, let's do the first 4 with our feet on. Pull it up and lower it in a V. A baby V. Good. 3. And here's 4. Squeezing my shoulder blades, still wrapping my ribs, draw my abs up and in. Float your feet down to the side. Draw up and in on your abs first. That's going to support you. Here's 4. 3. Squeezing my biceps into my ribs. Good job. Now, we are going to do a chest expansion style exercise while sitting on the box. First thing I'm going to do, place my heels underneath. Reach my arms out long. And I'm going to pull back. And release it forward. This is light for us, isn't it? And pull it back. At least in my class, this is a light spring tension. And here's 3. Wrapping my ribs down, allowing my ribs to flare. Using my triceps to pull it back. Was that fine for you? Great. Drop your feet. And now we're going to pull back. Drawing in on our lower abdominals. This is harder than you think it should be, right? And here's 3. And now we're going to add on some more traditional chest expansion moves. We're going to pull our arms back. I'm going to look to the right. I'm going to look center. I'm going to look to the left. I'm going to look center. I'm going to draw my abs up and in. Make sure I'm not tucking or tilting my pelvis and drop it forward. And I'm going to pull back. Look left, center, right, center, release. And pull back. Look right, center, left, center, release. And pull back. Look left, center, right, center, release. One more to each side. Wrap your ribs. Squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. Look right, center, left, center, release. One more and pull back. Look left, center, right, center, and release. Good job, guys. From here, we're going to go ahead and switch over our box to short box. So whatever you do on your machine for short box, please go ahead and do that at this time. Make sure that you add anywhere from 4 to 5 springs to maintain stability. Go ahead and check on your safety strap. Make sure it's properly engaged.
side, we are going to do some oblique side bending side work. My front knee is bent. My shin is parallel with the front of my box. I'm pulling up. I have take my glasses off because it's going to get steamy on this one. I have my head in my hands. I'm not pulling back. I'm not leaning forward. I'm resting my head in my hands. I have my shoulders over my hips. I'm going to come down to the side. I want a straight line from the tip of my head out to my foot. I'm going to rib shift up and drop it. And just my ribs are moving. So I move here and I lower. Here, forward. Make sure you're not rocking back into your low back. 7, and here's 8. 8's our magic number today. I'm going to drop my elbow down, not crunching. I'm side bending up and over a barrel, and I come back up. I'm not swinging up, you'll notice, because my foot doesn't wobble around in my foot strap. Now if I were to swing up, it'd go like this. But I am side crunching. So here's 2. Wide elbows, 3. 4. Halfway there. 5. 6. Shoot energy out of your heel. 7. Abs up and in. And here is 8. Now find your headrest. If you're able to, place your forearm down and reach up and over. Now as you reach, don't just hang out. Go ahead and lift up out of that side. Reaching your upper ribs up towards the ceiling and reach up and over. Bring your arm up without swinging. Other side, bend up. Place your opposite hand across your knee. Reach your top arm bicep to your ear and reach away over the foot bar to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Now from here, we're going to bring our arms out to a T. Locate the tension of the foot strap. Come back out to a straight line and pulse up. 2. This is a whole body pulse. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now staying here, we're going to rotate, not rocking any weight on our hip. We're rotating from the belly button out and back out. And rotate. Draw your belly up and in. And open. Here's 3. Or 5. Woo! Caught myself. 6. 2 more. 7. And 8. Place your hand or your forearm on the headrest. Lift up out of that side for a nice side bend. I feel the stretch all the way down to my hip. Now arm to a T. No swinging. No momentum. Crunch it up. And reach it across. Good job, guys. We're going to go ahead and come through the center to do some traditional short box exercises. So reach your feet long. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. We will do half of these side bends with modification and half of them classically. I'm going to place my left hand down on the box. Fingertips pointing towards the edge, just like on our side bend. Shave the face, or reach over, pressing up and out. So I'm not sinking, and I reach up. My ribs are wrapped, my shoulders are over my hips, and I reach to the right side, and I bend, and I lift. I have my legs extended straight, so I'm not pressing into the box. One more, and then we're going to add on the classical version. Both arms up. Now reach, 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 reach to where the wall and the ceiling meet to the left side. My right hip is fully grounded, and I exhale back up to center. I reach to the right. I ground my left hip. Exhale back up. And to the left. My range of motion is vastly limited compared to the modified side bend, because I do not have the support of my hand on the box. From here, we're going to go ahead and come to the other side. So my right leg is going to come up onto the box. My right shin is parallel. I'm going to go ahead and check on my strap. I'm going to place my head in my hands, wrap my ribs, draw my belly up and in, reach over so that I'm in a straight line, and I'm going to rib shift up and down, up and down.
As you're doing this, draw your belly in, wrap your ribs, reach out with your leg. 8. And now I'm going to lower my elbow down, not crunching in, I'm side bending, and then I come up. I'm not using momentum, and I know I'm not because my foot's not flopping up and down, creating slack in my safety strap. Here's 3. And 4. Nice wide elbows. Good job, guys. Final one. And now find your headrest. Place your form or your hand in. Now here's where my body is just in a side bend. Here's where I am with the lift. Lift up out of your elbow, pressing up out of your forearm, reaching your bicep by your ear. Arm up to a T. No momentum. Press up, side bend, side bend, side bend. Reach your arm across your body, resting the top of your hand on your knee. Reach your bicep by your ear and lean away. Fingers reaching for the wall and the ceiling knee. Arms out to a T. We're halfway there on side obliques, guys. Reach it down. And now, we're in a straight line from our head down to our toe. We're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rotate and back. Again, when I rotate, I'm not moving my hips. They're staying where they are. If I rotate my hips, can I fully come parallel to the floor? Yeah. But I'm trying to do a true rotation. Squeeze your glutes. Locate your headrest. Reach up and over to a true side bend, lifting up out of your side. Reaching up over with the bottom side as if you're reaching over a barrel or an exercise ball. Arm up to a T. Pull down on your shoulder. Lift it up. Bring your hand across and reach it up and over. Good job, guys. We're going to come back through center. We are going to do a quick tree exercise, and we're going to move on to a long stretch series. I'm going to extend my foot long. I'm going to place my left leg bent in my hands, sitting straight up on my sits bones. I'm going to extend my leg and bend at the knee. And extend, bend at the knee, extend and stay there. Articulate through my foot to point in and flexed. 3 times. Leaving my foot pointed, I'm going to do 3 ankle circles in each direction. From here, I'm going to pulse my leg by bending my elbows wide 1, and pull up 2, and pull it up 3. From there, we're going to bend my knee. We're doing bent knee tree today. I'm going to tuck my tail and come back to where my sacrum's flat, guys. Really holding on, really feeling a nice stretch down the front of my hip flexor on my leg that's under the safety strap. From there, I'm going to draw my ribs towards my hips and sit up. Tuck my tail. Come back. This is a stretch. This is the nice part of the exercise routine, guys. And draw my ribs to my hips. And come back up. Let's do one more. Dropping my shoulders. Using my legs. Creasing it over my sternum, not crunching my chin to my chest. We'll extend our leg from here, release our arms to try to hold it, and lower our foot with control to the carriage. Excuse me, I'm losing my AirPod. Okay, switching feet. Bent knee tree on the right side. I'm going to pull my thigh into my chest. I'm going to point my foot and bend at the knee. And extend my leg and bend. Sitting up as straight as possible. And now I'm going to articulate through my foot and point. And flex. And point. One more. And now circle your foot 3 times in each direction. 3. And reverse. 2. 3. Bend your knee into your chest. Tuck your tail. And articulate back to a flat sacrum, guys. Feel the hip flexor stretch down the front of your leg on your left side. Tuck your chin, tuck your, begin to articulate up, drawing your ribs to your hips. I hate to say tuck your chin to your chest because it always makes people drop their chin to their chest. Articulate back again. Holding on with our arms. Feeling a nice stretch, but also feeling a nice hollowness in our lower abdominals. Let's do one more. Guys, you're doing great. Feel that nice stretch. Next, we're moving on to long stretch series. Go ahead and tuck it. Bring it up. Sitting straight up. Extend your legs and release your arms. Using your lower abdominals to keep your leg lifted. And now with control, lower your leg to the carriage. Great job, guys. That last part was very difficult. I learned it from a teacher that I once had. His name's Ed. He's wonderful. He's in Florida now. He taught me that challenge hold at the end. I really enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get rid of our boxes. We're going to set up our machine for long stretch. I'm going to put one red spring on my machine. That's one medium. So one medium spring, guys. That's it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to place one hand on, place the other hand on. Like swan, we're going to place one foot up. Press your foot out to straight with your glutes. Now we'll swing your other leg up and over. Try to keep your shoulders over your wrists. Press out. Pull it across. Our magic number here on this series is 6. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm drawing my abdominals up and in. My feet are in a Pilates V here with my heels squeezing together to shoot energy up the center of my body, shooting energy out of my head. From here, I'm going to pull the carriage to the machine. I'm going to walk my feet up. Here's a trick, just like we did for arms facing backwards or side arms. The closer I am to the end of my machine, the heavier my springs are, because the further I stretch out my springs. The closer I am to my shoulder blocks, the lighter my springs are going to be. So guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come up, we're going to bring our feet to the center. We're going to bring it up into a high heel position. Walk it back if you need to. Bring your biceps as close to your ears as you can. We're going to unfold into a pike. I have parallel feet here. I'm going to pike it back up. Drawing my abdominals up and in. Trying to draw my biceps between my ears. And I'm going to press it out. For people with hip replacements or hip problems, try not to let your feet come past 90 degrees. That means that don't allow your feet to come towards your face, past your hips. And press it out. Shoulders as close to being over your wrists as you can. Let's do 2 more. Abs up and in. Don't drop down in your lower stomach. If you feel your low back starting to take over, go ahead and think of drawing your ribs to your hips imperceptibly, so very slightly. So stay here. Bend your knees in and press it back out. And bend your knees in and press out. And here's 3. Press out with your glutes. I'm making sure my shoulders are over my wrists. And 1 more. Whoop. Almost lost my AirPod again. From there, I'm going to bring the carriage in by piking at the hips. I'm going to come back onto my heels. I'm going to rotate to the left side of my machine so my feet are in tandem. So I go toes, heels, toes, heels. My left foot is in front, my right foot is behind. From here, I'm going to try to bring my biceps between my ears again. I'm going to pike again. Keep your shoulders as square as you can. Squeeze in on your glutes, which I just lost. So we all need to remember to squeeze our glutes to press out. And up. Here's 3. 4. This is rotation work. And 6, stay out. Now, bend your knees to bring the carriage in. My back heel comes off to accommodate this movement, and as I press out, I can put it back down. And I'm going to bend. Wrap your ribs, square your shoulders to the foot bar. 4, 5. You are welcome for this next move to continue to do the pikes that were done before. We're going to pike our feet up, or you can do this challenge of thread and needle. I'm going to take my right hand, place it in the middle. I'm going to hover my left hand off, just float it over the top. I'm going to press out and bring my arm up. As I draw up and in under the pike, I'm going to thread the needle and look underneath my right arm. I'm going to press it back out, keeping my shoulder and over my wrist. Tuck my tail, crunch in on my oblique to really lift it up. Squeeze my glutes. Draw my ribs to my hips. Here's 4. And open. Oopsie, lost that shoulder with the wrist. Ooh, my AirPods do not want to stay in today. And 6. Good. Now, we're going to go and place the hand back over as we pike up. Come back through center. Parallel my toes to face front. Tuck my tail. Bring my biceps by my ears. Lift my toes. Make sure I have equal weight behind my big toe, behind my little toe, and then my heel. And I'm going to press out into round back elephant and exhale it back under. I'm going to round my belly even more as I exhale in. It's as if I'm getting punched in the stomach. And I get punched and I crunch it up in the higher. Let's do 2 more. We're going to go to flat back from here. Again, people with hip problems or hip replacements, please go ahead and walk your feet back a little bit further so that you're not in this position past a 90 degree with your body and your feet. My biceps are between my ears again. I'm wrapping my ribs. I'm going to press back and under. It is more of a sawing movement. 3, 4. Good job, guys. 5. And 6. From there, I'm going to keep my hands in the center. Widen my shoulder blades in that plank position that we were talking about in the beginning of class. I should have mentioned them earlier, sorry. Now, I'm toe to heel, toe to heel. My right foot is in front. My biceps are between my ears. I'm going to press out to a plank. I'm going to pike back up. And I'm going to press out. Here's 2. Think of pulling apart the foot bar to really widen your shoulder blades. 3, 4, and 5. Really feel like I'm crunched a little. There we go. Sorry about that. And 6. Stay out. Now bend in. Still keeping our shoulders square to the foot bar. My back heel comes up to accommodate. I squeeze my glutes, press my feet up, and I bend. And I'm lifting up out of my side closest. I'm not sinking. Here's 4. I'm drawing my abdominals up and in. 5, 6, and now we're going to pike up. For those of you who would like a challenge, we're going to do thread and needle. For those of you who would like to continue on with the original pike version, please feel free. Otherwise, I'm going to take my left hand, move it to the center, float my right hand over the top as I press out and reach my top arm up to a T. I'm keeping my bottom arm with my wrist and my shoulder as close to being stacked as I possibly can. I'm going to tuck my hips, rotate up underneath my left arm, and press it back out to a start position. And this is a lot of lat work, guys. A lot of underneath the arm work to pull your shoulder away from your ear. Pull it under and press it back out by straightening your legs, by squeezing your glutes. A lot of glute work. And now I squeeze my glutes to press the carriage straight. Abs up and in. And under. And press it out. Control is key here, guys. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sweating and shaking. And I press. And now as I pike up, I float my top hand over. I'm going to rotate my feet back to center. Put in on the carriage. Make sure your foot bars locked in for this movement, guys. I'm going to tuck up and in, looking in at my thighs. Bring my biceps between my ears. And a standing cat. Then I'm going to drop down, lifting my tailbone, lifting my head. Tuck my tail, drop my head to lift up, 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 up. Creating lots of space in my back between the vertebrae. And exhale to lower. One more. And a lift, 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 lift. And exhale to lower. Good. From there, I'm going to hold on to the carriage, but carefully come down. We are going to do a modified start exercise in this class for a nice side bend to end class. We are going to stack our knees against the shoulder block. I did this move originally with my Pilates trainer, Katie Rowley. It is crazy difficult, guys. You have to have a lot of lat work. Really pull your shoulder down your back. So pull in, already engaged underneath your arm, down your ribs. Draw your belly up and in. Reach your hand over the top, just like in mermaid. And now, keeping the carriage into the bumper, we're going to squeeze up, squeezing our glutes. And I'm sorry, come up to a, I said mermaid, come up to a star. And we're going to come back down. Woo! I'm sorry, we're only on one red. We're going to stay on one red for this. This is a real challenge. We're going to squeeze it up. Gosh, I'm shaking. And lower. If you need to add another spring, add one medium, one light. On my machine, that's one red, one blue. Otherwise, we're going to lift up. And we're going to press out slightly and pull it across. And press out. Belly in, abs in. Wrap your ribs. And lower. Down. Wow, that was hard. I made a real mistake on the springs there. But for those of you that did it, you did a great challenge. We're going to come to the other side. Ooh. Placing our hand slightly in front, not behind us, not necessarily right out of our shoulder. Bring it forward ever so slightly. Draw in on underneath your arm, down your ribs to begin. Drop your shoulder, press your glutes, and squeeze, squeeze it up. Did it again. And squeeze your inner thighs, and come back down. Inhale. Exhale to press up and squeeze your hips forward. Wrapping your ribs, drawing your abdominals up and in. And lower it down. One more, and we're going to add on. And up. And then we're going to press out an inch and pull it across. And press out an inch and pull it across. One more, squeezing our inner thighs. Leaving it in at the bumper. We're going to lower it down. From there, we're going to face the side of the machine. I'm going to take my left leg, place it across my knee. I'm going to put my ankle bone to the side, the outside of there, so that I'm not sickling my foot. I'm going to reach up with my arms, wrap my wrists around me, and hinge forward. And exhale. And now round forward. And now inhale. And exhale. And now articulate out. This is an abbreviated hip flexor stretch. Go ahead and do this on your own. Breathe for as long as you would like. I'm going to lift my right foot up. Above my ankle, I'm going to put across my knee so that I'm not sickling my foot up. I'm going to raise up, bringing my biceps between my ears. Wrap my ribs. Hinge forward with a flat back. Round over my leg. Go ahead and take an inhale here. And exhale. Drawing your belly off of your thighs. Going to articulate out to sitting. Ground both feet. Take one more breath. Thank you so much for joining me. That was a difficult class. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you.